The Bhimrao Ambedkar, the boy who asked why. Thawek, Thawek, the stumps went flying. Paul Wanker, Balu, Balu had on won the match for his team. They rushed towards him to celebrate. He was their hero. He was their hero. Balu was Bhim's hero too. Like Bhim, he was an untouchable until just a few years ago. His team wouldn't even eat with him, but this didn't stop Balu from becoming a great cricketer. Becoming a great cricketer. As a child, Bhim knew that the world he lived in was like a ladder. Different groups of people made the different steps of the ladder. Bhim knew that he belonged to the lowest step. People above his group on the ladder did not eat with them. They did not drink water from the same well as them or bath in the same pond. They did not pray in the same temples. They said people like Bhim could not even he touched. As he grew up, Bhim began to untouchable. As he grew up, Bhim began to understand that these groups were called castes, that there were high castes and low castes. Bhim was a Mehar. He belonged to a low caste, an untouchable caste. Why? Even when he was little, Bhim had been ideas. He wanted to study. He wanted to read books. When can I go to school? He pestered his parents. His father Ramji signed. He was an officer in the army under the British who ruled India and had managed to send all these children to school. Bhim was the last of his 14 children. Bhim's mother, Bhimabai, knew why her husband was sad. She was too. They both knew how he would be treated in school. At the age of 5, Bhim went to school just like his brothers. and sisters before before him, and like them he could not sit with the rest of his class. He had to sit in a corner with a few others like him, the untouchables. Bhim knew, Bhim knew, Bhim knew that already. Rules already. He had to sit on a gunny sack that he brought from home. He couldn't touch anything in the school. Why? The teachers wouldn't touch his slate. If he wanted water, the peon would school peon would pour pour and in it down into his hands, so that even the water pot didn't touch him. If the peon didn't come to school, he and other untouchable children like him would have no water to drink the whole day. But none of this stopped Bhim from going to school. There was one teacher, Mahadev Ambedkar, who was very fond of Bhim. He belonged to a high caste at the top of the ladder. He shared his lunch with Bhim. Sometimes he even touched Bhim's surname. He even changed Bhim's surname to his own in the school records. So from then on, Bhimrao Ambedkar became Bhimrao Ambedkar. One summer when he was 9 years old, Bhim, his brother and cousins were going to visit his father in Koregaon. Just the 4 children alone by train. Bhim was very excited. Bhim's father had told them to get off the train at Masur. He would send someone to pick them up. But when the children reached the station, there was nobody waiting for them. Ramji had not received their letter telling him when they would reach. Letter telling him when they would reach. The station master came up to them, smiling such nice